Hey, this is Josh from Guitar.com, and we're at NAMM 2019 with Mark Holcomb at the Seymour Duncan stand to talk about his new Dark Sun digital delay and reverb pedal. Take it away, Mark.
All right.
Nice, thank you, man. So, the Dark Sun then. Talk us through kind of, I guess, how you came to develop a pedal with the guys at Seymour Duncan.
It's been a project a long time in the making. I think it goes back about 2 years now. And I mean, the idea started honestly, once I was sent a prototype of the Seymour Duncan Silver Lake in the mail. Seymour Duncan wanted me to sort of test it out and see what I thought, get some feedback on the pedal. And I was just blown away at how good the reverb sounded, just legitimately just inspiring sounding reverb. And it got me really excited to approach him with this idea that I'd had for a while. It's like, I noticed way back, sort of in my teenage years of playing, that every time I used a delay, I was also incorporating a reverb and vice versa. So I never used one without the other, but for some reason, I never found a problem with sort of hooking two pedals up, which can be fun to sort of daisy chain and experiment, swap out components of a chain. But ideally, what I'd always wanted was something that could house both of those, and to have the sort of flexibility and the amount of features to be able to cover any combination of effects you could want out of a delay reverb. It's basically this catch-all solution to delay reverb effects. So then I contacted Seymour Duncan and I said, hey, would you guys be open to trying out this wild idea? And I expected them to reject me and say, no, we don't care about you. No, I didn't expect that. No, they were actually really into it from the very beginning. And yeah, the prototyping process has been going on for about a year and a half now. And I mean, the goal for me, besides that, and I say this, I've said this since the inception of the project, was I want this pedal to be sort of the ultimate idea generator, the ultimate songwriting companion, really. And like, you know, me jamming on that riff, that's something that I wrote with the Dark Sun a couple weeks ago, and it's like every time I plug into the pedal, it seems to sort of stir some creative juices and inspire me in a way. And when I boil it down to why I play the guitars that I play, why I play the pickups that I play, why I play through the amp that I play, any component of my rig, it has to inspire me in some way. And that was the goal with the pedal, just basically have one catch-all delay reverb that would just inspire the hell out of you every time you plug it in. So I feel like it's a home run from that aspect, and I can't thank the engineers and the designers of the pedal enough for just taking the idea and making it a million times more genius than I could ever imagine. So
obviously you said it's been quite a project. Kind of what sets this pedal apart from kind of other combined reverb and delays out there feature-wise?
I would say feature-wise, it's got some things that I'm not sure really exists on different pedals, that at least that I've tried. It's got some really cool routing options, so I always do delay into reverb. That's just what I've always played through live and in the studio. I like the sound of a delay into reverb. And during the design process, I actually talked to some other players. They're like, oh, I never do anything besides reverb into delay. And I was like, you freaking crazy? And then we would have an argument about it. And then I talked to the designers, and they're like, we can do both. You know, it's not that hard. And then we turned it to the switch. So set in its normal position, it's delay into reverb. One down is reverb into delay. And it's a pretty drastic difference in the tone. And And then past that, if you're running this in stereo, you can actually assign the different effects to different sides. So you can,
That's really cool.
yeah, delay to your left side, reverb to your right, and vice versa. So those are your main routing options, and I didn't really care too much about that until I started jamming on it, and it gave me some really inspiring ideas for songs and riffs. And yeah, I mean, as far as what sets it apart, the Silver Lake was one of my favorite reverb pedals ever, and we brought basically the same kind of sort of that tasteful type of reverb over to this pedal, and it's all controlled by room size. So if you can start with a really subtle, just kind of a nuanced reverb, full on, and as you increase the room size, you'll notice the character of the reverb changing quite dramatically. And of course, there's mixed controls for both delay and reverb. The beautiful thing is you can switch off one effect completely and just have it be a delay pedal, or have it be just a reverb pedal. But you can also just bump it up a touch. You know, if you just want a hint of reverb or a hint of delay, that's possible as well. And yeah, I mean, so people know me for being in a metal band, right? I play heavy metal, but you know, I wanted something that could help me write sort of melodic material. If you want to apply it in a metal context, there's a pretty specific scenario in which I've already used this. It got actually a lot of studio time on Periphery 4, which is coming out in a couple months. There's always this part of the process when Periphery is writing and recording. We call it spice racking. Spice racking, and please humor my description here. Spice racking is when you basically cooked the album. You've prepared everything, you've written everything, you've actually recorded everything, right? So you have the album pretty much done. Spice racking is the most fun part for me, because you can go over and be like, you know, it'd be awesome if we doubled the vocal line with a really delay saturated tone, or we should harmonize, but have one of these harmonies be just like soaked in reverb. Just stuff that sort of exists on top. You would notice if it were gone, but it's not something you'd necessarily think carries the song. Spice racking. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. But
yeah, Periphery fans, look out for Dark Star on the new album then.
Oh yeah, I mean, so this is meant to sort of be able to poke out over a metal mix. So if you're going through that process, you have a metal song written, but you want to have some reverb, delay, soaked guitar over certain sections, we've made controls specifically to address that. So you have a high-pass filter, low-pass filter. The high-pass in particular is great for cutting through a metal mix or like a hard rock context. And actually the saturation, so it's all controlled by one knob here. You select through each one of these parameters, and you use this tweak knob as sort of a catch-all control for that. The saturation, you add a little bit of saturation, add some gain to your tone, combine with a high-pass filter, and it pokes right through the mix. So it's a fairly quick process. And yeah, besides
awesome. Well, I guess the only question is then, how much does it cost, and when are people going to be able to buy it?
$369 US dollars, I believe. And late March is when it's coming out. So yeah, everything is still, it's all sort of, you know, being lined up for release, but if everything goes right, that's when it's going to come out. Yeah.
Awesome. Mark, thanks a lot for your time. I've been Josh for guitar.com. Head to guitar.com for all the latest NAMM 2019 news.